Hello and welcome to the channel of Obstetrics and Gynecology. This video will give you basic information regarding what is a Gravida and what is Parity, and how we construct the obstetric formula, and why is obstetric formula actually so important, because we cannot come to a clinical diagnosis of a patient without this obstetric formula. So we will run through examples that are from quite simple ones to the complicated ones. So let's get started. So first, what's a Gravida? So Gravida is any amount of times the patient has been pregnant, she is considered as a Gravida. So it could be her current pregnancy or her past pregnancy. So now, what is a nulli Gravida? Nulli Gravida means N, no, never, that she has never been pregnant before. Then we have is primi gravida. So primi means first, so first time pregnant is known as primi gravida. Then we have is multigravida. Multigravida is something beyond this primi. We call everything that beyond this primi is known as multigravida. Next we have is parity. Now, parity is something that denotes us only about her past pregnant experiences, and that has been beyond the period of viability, right? Beyond the period of viability. Viability has different standards in different countries. Like for India, we consider it as 24 weeks. In America, it is a range that is known as the peri-viable birth, from 20 weeks to 25 weeks 6 days. So that differs. The next we have on chart is nullipara. Nullipara means she has never been beyond, the pregnancy has never been beyond the viability. Then further primipara and multipara. Primi means at least once she has been beyond the period of viability, and multi means two times or more. Now here I'm going to take some examples. Like first you can see that we have a lady that comes to our clinic, and she has been recently married, and she says that she has an amenorrhea of around 2 months. So the first thing that I like to do with this patient is I'll get a urine pregnancy test done. Now that turns out to be positive. My first step is now that she is pregnant. Now she says that she has been pregnant for the very first time. So I have to construct an obstetric formula for her. Straight away I can go that she says that she's pregnant for the first time, she's a prime gravida. But what's her obstetric formula? It's constructed as GPAL. So G is gravida, P is parity, A abortion, and L is live birth. So gravida, she is pregnant for the very first time. So I'll consider her G1, P0, A0, L0. Right? That was one example. Now let's go to another one, more difficult one. Now we have a patient, and she says that she has been married for around 4 years, and she has an amenorrhea of around 2 months, and her prior pregnancy, she tells me something about her prior pregnancy. She says that she has 3-year-old daughter, and that was an institutional delivery, and also she had a spontaneous abortion at around 3 months of gestation, right? So she says she's currently amenorrheic for 2 months. The first thing that I'll like to do with her is get a urine pregnancy test done. So her urine pregnancy test, turns out to be positive. So she is pregnant. Now, how many times has she been pregnant? She is currently pregnant, and she was pregnant before also 2 times. So she's a gravida 3. Next is parity. The only viable child she has before is a 3-year-old daughter, right? And the other one was a non-viable. So my parity is 1. Now her abortion, she also had abortion below the 20 weeks gestation, so that was a non-viable one, so abortion 1. And then we have is live birth, and live birth is also 1, that is a 3-year-old daughter. The next one we have here is a patient at period of gestation 30 weeks, and she has prior 2 cesareans. and the first one was 7 years back and the second one was around 3 years back. Now she had also a spontaneous abortion, right? So she also had a spontaneous abortion. And to remind you one thing, she has a twins from one cesarean, right? She has twins from one cesarean. So firstly, talking about her gravida, she is currently pregnant. She had prior to cesarean section and a spontaneous abortion. So this is her fourth time being pregnant. What is her parity? She had two cesarean sections before and one was abortion. So parity is 2. The next is abortion, which is 1, as you can see. Now how many live births? Now from one cesarean section she had was twins, from other a male. So her total live birth were 3. Though her parity was 2, her live birth were 3. Now this is the last example that we have. We have a patient that is at 20 weeks gestation. She had prior to losses at 3.5 months of gestation, which is less than the 20 weeks, right? And a prior preterm birth at 33 weeks gestation, and that baby has expired, right? And what's her formula? So again, calculating her gravida, she's pregnant now, she has prior to abortions and a preterm birth, so gravida 4. Parity, she had a preterm birth at 33 weeks, that was beyond the parity, so that is 1. And abortion 2, her baby has expired, so life 0. So thank you. Now we also have do's and some don'ts. Do's is like you start your obstetric formula right from the gravida, that is how many times has she been pregnant, right? It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of times she has been pregnant. The second thing that you calculate is her parity, that the deliveries in her past pregnancy experiences you calculate that has been beyond the period of viability, and the viability that we consider is at 24 weeks. The next is all those non-viable births before the 24 weeks will be considered as our abortions. The next we calculate is live births. Now they can be more or they can be less than the parity, because you can have them as a living child, or the baby may be expired, or you may have twins. In that case it will be more than the parity. And now talking about some don'ts. Don'ts include only in the parity. See, in the parity, it is considered only as a past experience of pregnancy, not the current pregnancy. So if the current pregnancy crosses the viability age, kindly do not increase the parity. For example, we have a patient at G1, P0, A0, L0 at 12 weeks, and she then moves on to being beyond the viability, that is at 36 weeks. She will still have the same formula G1, P0, A0, L0. The parity will not increase. And next thing is the parity also does not change with the multiple gestation. For example, if you have a twin pregnancy in the past, the parity will remain only 1. The parity will not increase. The parity will be only 1, whether she had a twin gestation or a single gestation. That's the end of the video, guys. I'm leaving you with all the pics of the examples that we just did, and do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Love obstetrics and gynecology.